Quickly before you notice, yes, I wear glasses. I'm a 4 eyes. I honestly didn't wear them for 2 years, but now Tobler and I are doing this thing. I've got to read a couple notes. So I don't know if that's a big thing anymore to come out as a 4 eyes, but I am. And
Welcome to the club, brother.
Yeah, exactly. Tobler's a 4 eyes as well.
Yeah, just for screens.
You're an OG 4 eyes. Like
Yeah,
you're
I've been for a
even though
while.
I was prescribed glasses in year 2, like you were a year 1 4 eyes guy, right? Surely.
No, I don't know what you mean by that, but no, I was like a university.
University for us. I was a
Too much time spending looking at screens and whatnot. But
It's
no,
a
I wasn't an OG.
surprise. Well, I fell one short, as we know, 89 in the UAI. Surprised I got that far with fucking undiagnosed ADHD. Didn't wear my glasses at all during school, stupidly, and have dyslexia. So shout out to me. That 89 is like a 99. Anyway, Wallace is here. He's come to work today. This is my dog, Wallace. I did a little post the other day honouring my dogs after the Odyssey because you might all think you're dog guys, but look at this guy. He won't leave my goddamn side. He's the bloody dog for the Odyssey. Annoyingly, he needs a shave. Don't judge him. He's actually a bit skinnier when he's shaved. But basically, he never leaves my side at home. Like I sleep with my twins in their room. I've got like a mattress on the floor. I'm fucking 37. I sleep on the floor because the twins eventually roll in and it's sort of double mattress, and then Wallace is there as well. So
Can confirm whenever Sebbo walks around the office, he's like attached to his hip. We made a joke the other day that Sebbo looks like Teabag with his pocket hanging out of his pants, and Wallace is just biting onto the pocket, following him around the studio.
Mate, he has to take a piss with me. It's just like, can you just wait at the door?
That's absolutely insane that he has to go into the cubicle with you at work because he's so attached. He loves
the other
it.
time he has a nap, he has
So
to like
funny.
find the highest point in the house, and it's like on the seat of the couch where you can have like a 360 view of like where I'm heading, and it's just like. But hey, look, I love my dogs. I promoted him. Like I fall asleep with him in my arms. He's literally my teddy bear. Like literally, I can't sleep without him. So shout out to you, Wallace. You're doing a good job. But anyway, we're back. I've been excited for this episode because we're going to be talking about the 2007. Look, 2007, I just say 2007 because it's like the middle. I think it's kind of debated where this Australian electro scene started and where it ended. I think if you're going to give it a hard line, it's like 2004, peak 7, finish early 9. Anyway, I put a lot of research and a bit of nostalgia lane into it, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We've got our Drive review as well. I actually had to watch it kind of one time, and I was taking notes in the first like 20 minutes, and then I just got sucked into it. And then luckily Millie was like, I want to be part of the movie club. And I'm like, so she's watching it. And I was like, okay, I'll take my notes again. The Rabbitohs are up fucking like 28-0 or some shit. And then I'm watching Drive again, taking notes. And I check the bloody score, and it's like, Jesus Christ. So shout out the Bunnies. I know we don't talk much footy here, but as a Rabbitohs fan this weekend, we'll decide if we make finals against the Doggies, which I was thinking about. It's like, we're not going to win, right? But like making finals feels like a cut for your team, like in golf. Like it's going, did you make the cut of being a good team or a shit team? Even though you know you're going to get knocked out first week. Like that's what it's about. It's like an ego kind of thing as a fan, right? Like it's like, we're going to make finals. I'm not even thinking about the goddamn premiership. It's just like, are we a loser or not?
And it's something that you point to through the whole off season. Like, look, we made finals. It was a good year.
Yeah.
It's like a good marker. As you said, making the cut.
Where
That's a great reference.
You could literally be in the same amount of wins as the team that got through, but your for and against is bad. And it's like, it's a totally different lens that you look at like your season, which is fair enough. You need a cut line. Like in golf, man. If you miss that 3-putt on the 18th, don't make the cut. Like it doesn't matter. You're one stroke behind. See you later. You don't get any money. Drive was good, man, and it was. We'll get to it later, but it was. I'm glad I didn't tarnish my memory of the first time I saw it, where I'm like, "Fuck, that was the best thing ever." I really had a good time, but we actually had a good weekend because we had a couple days off from the office on Thursday, Friday last week.
Yeah, the bosses are away in Bali, so they gave us Thursday, Friday off last week and this week for some extra long weekends, which is great.
Did you get everything fun or like?
Mate, nothing crazy, nothing too notable over the weekend. Got a lot of admin done, which is nice.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a rip and tear on Saturday. And then saw the new Spiderman actually on Sunday.
Yeah, I
quite
heard
good.
you and Totes talking about it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Totes told me Shane's in it.
Yes.
I love Shane's just
because
fucking everywhere.
Shane, or John Bernthal, for those wondering, Shane.
I
who
call
is
him Shane
character
because
from
of the show
Walking
The
Dead.
Walking Dead. I used to watch the first 2, 3, 4 seasons, and it was like, it wasn't a joke Shane, but it was just like fucking Shane. And like Shane just was in your memory.
Yeah,
like
of
you just
course.
Shane.
Yeah.
And he is Shane in every role, but every story needs a Shane around, apparently. He's in freaking Scorsese films, in the Odyssey. In the Odyssey, he's still Shane. He's still Shane like, man, yo, you wouldn't know who type of man Odysseus is. Like he's always fucking eating a chicken drumstick or something. Like,
exactly.
like just, no, we were there for 3 days. Anyway, so you liked it.
Yes, I thought it was really good. He is Shane. Can confirm. He plays this character called the Punisher, who's just like a vigilante.
Oh, so he's the
who
Punisher in that.
loses his family and then becomes just like this guy that just walks around. He's like a vigilante, just
I
very
saw the
violent.
OG Punisher before Marvel was a
right.
thing. I know Punisher, but that was like before you didn't even know Marvel or Blade were like, sorry, Blade and Punisher, you thought they were just like movies.
Yeah.
And then that was before the like big whatever happened with Marvel.
But it was really good. It was closer to like a Tobey Maguire-esque Spider-Man than any of the other Tom Hollands have been before.
How many has he done? Is it
This is his fourth.
So is it like a not trilogy, but is it like one beyond that?
Yeah,
like
pretty
they're all linked
much.
up.
It's hard to know, and they're very elusive with details about like if he's going to do more or how many there's going to be, or if it's going to be another trilogy or whatnot. But no, I thought it was cool. Went for a while, which was good. But
is it as good as the other Tom Holland one? Is it your best Tom Holland one?
Best Tom Holland one, for sure.
Like it,
Yeah.
for you Spider-Man fans, you're pretty happy.
Yeah.
Got ya.
Delves with some darker themes from like a Marvel standpoint, which is like refreshing.
Yeah.
The pacing is a bit up and down though, because like there's these huge fight sequences and you never know which one's the big one.
Yeah.
Because it happened and then there was a bigger one and then another bigger one and you're like, what's going on here? But no, I thought it was cool. It was really good.
I mean, Totes was going on. I mean, I didn't know Totes was a Marvel guy because I thought he was a no movie guy whatsoever, but now he's going to bloody Odyssey and Marvel in 2 weeks. I mean, I guess most people are.
I did watch this movie on Sunday night called The Drama. It came out this year with Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, an A24 film.
Okay, A24. For those who don't know, usually A24, when we talk about movies, and I talk a lot about how you can't make movies for like 20, 30, $40 million anymore. The year they have to be kind of really indie or Marvel-esque or Chrissy Nolan-esque. A24 is like the bastion of like, you see that little A24 fucking logo? It's independent of sorts, not over the top budget, but fucking quality. So like the Adam Sandler one where he's the gambler, A24.
Uncut Gems, yeah.
The table tennis one, A24. Oh, maybe we
Marty
should do this for
Supreme.
Movie Club. Fucking Ex Machina.
Oh,
That's
huge,
A24. That's
dude.
like the first time I was like, who the fuck is A24? Because this movie's that good.
Bit of Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac, again, we'll get to Drive later,
We'll
but I was
get to
like,
that, we'll get to that, we'll get to
Oscar,
that.
there you are. That must have been the first time I saw you. But yeah, I might check it out because everyone's going on about Patterson.
Dude, he's phenomenal. And
Yeah, I know,
the
he's a good
movie's a
actor.
really good premise. It's quite interesting, but it's quite tense.
All right, well,
It's quite like there were a couple of bits where I was watching with my hand in front of my face,
Yeah,
like,
okay.
oh my God, what is going on?
Yeah,
but no, worth watching. But yeah, that's all I can report really. How was your little
Mate,
EQ day on Friday?
I had a great few days. Like, I honestly, I didn't go out or anything, but I don't go out anymore. But basically, on Thursday, we kind of, Rigney, who was the cameraman for Out of Office, him and I play pickleball. And we were like, let's just go have fun at the EQ because we always talk about how many activities there are: pickleball, golf, like simulator golf, bowling, arcades and stuff. So we went and spent Thursday doing that, and he brought someone along to film it. I don't know when I'm going to have time to piece together. It's not going to be an out of office edit. It's going to be a bit casual and fun. It was really fun, but spoiler alert, because I don't know when it will come out, but like I fucking had some really bad choking moments. I had some good moments, but I had some really bad choking moments. Now I'm going to use the excuse that I was kind of thinking about how the vlog pieces together and all that sort of stuff. That was going to be my excuse. That was going to be my excuse.
If you were going to make one.
Turns out the next day or Sunday I played pickleball with him again. And playing really good, had 2 set points on 2 different sets and faulted all those points. So I was just like,
Oh, no.
set point, fault. because you don't get a fault. It's like set point, lost that point, and then I'm still serving set point, lost that set, and got beat. I was like, oh my God, I've got like I'm a joker now. I used to have that as my main thing I had was kind of the important moments because I sucked physically, so I had to use mentally. Now when I get just a tiny bit of confidence about how I can do a shot, I'm mentally choking. So that kind of hurt, but then the EQ day, the Thursday, we did a whole bunch of stuff. We didn't go like really long and anything, just little dabbles around here. Really fun. Want to do it again soon. You'll see the video, see how fun it is. Then Sunday, versed him there. It is like really hard when you fucking choke back to back in sets, but it's also very hard to feel sad when you fucking playing 5-setters and stuff and just exercising that much in the endorphins, dude. I'm like, fuck, I'm so sad, but I'm like smiling and sweating because it's like running fucking, an hour on a bloody elliptical on a hard setting. Honestly, he's got one of the Apple Watches that tracks it. And then also on Friday, so I did that Thursday. Friday, I did a bit of work, like admin, touching up a few things. But then I was like, I introduced Streety to pickleball and told him the rules because he was my number one adversary from the table tennis days. Then I I showed him how to play, do that stuff, did the rules, did a fake dummy set, just to get him feel for it. Then he ended up beating me, and I was like, but I've played 12, 13, 14 times. Streety beat me off the bat. Yeah, I wanted that to happen because I didn't lose on purpose, but now I've got my adversary back from the table tennis days. It's like, massive. Yeah, I've got my Rigney, but you want a few kind of rivalries with mates so you can just have more on the thing. So I'm fucking hungry to smash him. He beat me. He's naturally picks up those things and he has that kind of no fear, just try hit everything. And so shout out to Streety. Beat me there. So we did a lot of pickleball.
Pickle heavy weekend, mate.
We didn't have much, golf's hard on the weekend sometimes because, it takes like 6 hours. But we actually went to, look at these new shoes, Sebbo World branding, right? I know that's blue, but there's a little bit of indigo at the bottom there. Got invited to technically my first golf event where I get shoes.
Ooh, let's
shout out Golf Box. It was the Adidas event up at Shortees. Shout out Shortees as well. It's been ages, so much fun.
Looked sick up there, dude.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. It was mainly, it wasn't like for like content creators. It was mainly for like retailers who sell Adidas, and then they've just like a few spare tickets, people like me and stuff. Mm-hmm. Shorties was mad, as per usual. Food was fucking epic. So fun. Actually hit so many goddamn greens. Like my wedge game's on fire at the moment. But Golf Box, and shout out Golf Box. I didn't even know Freddie from Golf Box was going to be there. So I was like, I don't know if I know anyone. Then I rock up there and I'm like, Seb, you fucking know heaps of people. Like you play golf and you've met people, you've played with them, talked on, DMs or whatever. And it was a really fun night. Rowan, the guy in our group, got a hole in one.
Holy shit, no way.
Yeah.
What hole?
The tiny one, the Hello Sport hole.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
They're like 38
with the elevated
one.
green, that the turtleback green almost.
Yeah, that tiny
if
fucking
if you don't
thing.
make it, you're fucked.
Yeah. I had about 7 fucking birdie putts lip out, like literally lip out. But he got the hole in one. But otherwise for our group, that was about the highlights. We just kind of, the food, the shoes. These shoes are fucking mad. I'm actually I don't know why I'm wearing them now because I want to save them for as long as possible. But it's in some stupid world in my head, I think that I'm going to rock up here so early that I go play a quick 9 at
Yeah, dude, I'm going to get up and run 5Ks and go to Pilates
I always got to be
work.
prepared. It's like people have their gym bag in case they go for a workout. It's like I've just got my golf shoes on in case. But I really like them.
Always ready.
It's just kind of the Birds of Condor hat that we had. Everything is coming up yellow and purple at the moment, so I don't know what's going on there. That's the Sebbo World Colours. I invented it. I stole it from fucking House Martell and Game of Thrones. But yeah, that was it. So we did 3 things of pickle. We went to that. We watched Drive. We watched some footy. That was basically it, though.
How good.
And then I spent the rest of the time just looking at fucking videos from 2007, really. And yeah, that was my weekend. It was just a lot on. And I haven't been exercising at all. I haven't figured out how to work my gym into this routine coming here yet. I've got to pass for lots of places. My favorite one's back the other way. So But playing all the pickleball, shout out, like just get into it, even if you're not that athletic. 'Cause it's not hard. Granddads and shit play it, but I just feel a bit fucking looser after the weekend. So yeah, that was me. So we said last week that we'll answer some YouTube questions quickly because we want to engage with you guys a little bit more. So any questions you have, leave it on the YouTube. Generally, also, we're going to be talking 2007 today. If I miss anything, there isn't a textbook on this shit, I realised. I can't just quickly download a fucking 20 million Alexander the Great podcast and pretend it's my work. I actually have to trawl through my memory. You know, on The Rock, when there's like, where's the blueprints? It's in my brain. Like, I've had to just pull out my brain for the 2007. Like, I'm going to be the first one to write the textbook on it right now. We're going to write it soon. For what the fuck it was even. So that's what we're doing. So we'll do that soon. We'll just answer some of these YouTube questions, little quizzes. And again, just anything, whether questions about what we've talked about, questions going forward, recommendations, all that sort of shit, because we're just going to just see what there's an appetite for. Obviously, we do a bit of a movie club, bit of history. One fucking second, actually. We're going to change Tobler. On the Spotify, it says like film, culture, comedy is our thing. We need to change it to one of them to be Greek, and we need to change my Instagram where I've got little icons to a Greek flag, because I've had about fucking 800 Greeks follow me.
Have you really?
And then they've started off in these arguments. Yeah, like, because I posted a clip of the World War II thing, and then a little slide about marathon and stuff. I don't know if they've just seen the World War II clip and that's why they follow me, or they've done the slide and going, oh, this guy's talking about Greece, and that's why they follow me. I'm stupidly not talking about Greece today, so it's like I was planning to just somehow come up with something, but 2007 grew too big just so I can feed them and keep them on the page. I was like, this is a fucking... I got more follows from that than I did when we did the Hello Sport collab announcing Sebbo's World. I'm like, these Greeks are just like, yes, go fucking Greece. They're back in their... And like, I'm like, they started off as Aussie Greeks. Now I wake up each morning and it's like the time zone. I'm getting the real Greeks follow. There's half of the fucking comments coming in are now in Greek. And it's ignited some war between, you know, before the fucking culture wars of these days where you have to pick a side and fucking, you know, die on the hill of gender bathrooms or that shit. And you just fed your algorithm of, you know, everyone against you is an idiot and you're smart. Before all of that, the most polarizing people are like the Greeks versus the Turks and Slav, Macedon. They're teeing off each other in the comments. They don't like each other, as we said, Persia, all that stuff, you know, 2,500 years ago to today. And it's just like one guy I had to actually just block. I'm like, this was a bit of a nice emotional post of the Greeks in World War II, and you're commenting on everyone and being a fucking annoying, just I was like, see you later, dude. I've only blocked like 4 people on Instagram ever. I tell you, one of them though was that fucking 8 handicap from Monavale, who was always up me for his scores and going, yeah, I'm an 8 handicap. You can't I'm an 8 handicap now. I'm fucking,
where are you now,
mate? I feel
mate?
like an authority. Jesus fucking Christ, where's that? I'm an 8 handicap from Monavale. I don't believe that you could shoot 4 over at a par 3 course. Fucking hell. So I had to block that. I don't know where he was from.
Well, hello to our new heavily Greek audience.
Yeah,
I think you finally found your spokesperson.
If any of those Greeks tuning in, we're not. Unfortunately, our topic this week took up too much time to get any sort of ancient stuff. There'll be more.
There'll be plenty more.
There'll be more for all the history.
Absolutely,
ancient history stuff or whatever. Half of that will be Greek. But shout out to the Greeks; they've come in droves. And so for you guys who aren't the Greeks, they're all giving me 5 stars and shit. They're all liking the videos and stuff like that. So can you fucking get us up the charts a little bit, so we can take over the world with our podcast, because we are doing something different like 2007. But I've jumped ahead. Questions in YouTube, Tobler.
All right. Last Cast 69 asked, did you ever play the game called Rome Total War on PC? Fuck, that was goated.
Yep.
So have you ever played that? Rome Total War? I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I played in high school. When you explain the game to people, they say, oh, like Age of Empires. It's not Age of Empires. Age of Empires is fun. I love Age of Empires. Age of Empires is probably a better game. It's about building a whole economy and an army. Rome Total War is literally like to the detail, picking units, whether you're picking these type of archers, horse archers, infantrymen, spears. Each army has their own thing. Now, there's campaign mode, which I never played. which apparently, you know, obviously the nerds love that. But you could just play 2-player, me versus Tobler, a computer each. We have Denari, I think it was called, gold, and you choose how much you want, like gold coins. And I always went max with the guy I was versing. And you have 20 units to field. Now, I was always the Spartans or the Greeks, or maybe it was Sparta. And then you'd have to spend that money across your units, and you'd have an option of, you know, 10, 12, 15 different types of units to put in. And then you would start the game and you would build your formations. Like you would build archers out there, and you'd even decide how far apart they are, like every detail. And then you press start game, and like both of you guys probably have a few trebuchets or scorpion things, and it's like, who's going to attack? You can highlight the whole army and then just right click and drag your formation. Like, honestly, I can't explain it any better. You just have to play. But I used to fuck people up because I was like, no, I'm Greece. Obviously, I'm Greek. And so I would build, I'd have archers out front, and then I'd have enough cavalry as like essentially kamikazes to just destroy their fucking trebuchets and stuff. So I'm just like, because what happens is I've got Spartans at the front, then I've got them diagonally across going down the side, and I've got some behind. So I just go out and just destroy their war machines and then force them to march on me. And then I would close in a box of Spartans around me and archers in the middle, and they just couldn't get through my fucking phalanxes. And I was just, so like I would wheel it closed, and so their horses are useless. Their archers, I've got archers. So if they send through some, but it's so like try get through my fucking thing. Goated game. I want to play it again. I'm going to verse Tobler eventually when we get some time to show him.
It sounds like fun.
But it was really fun, really weird one. Like I didn't play many PC games, but that was one of them. One of my nerd friends had it in high school. But I really liked it. I think it's like a top 10 game for me.
Huge.
Yeah, of like all time. Which I thought about putting that together. I don't have the time to, but like it's a big call considering like GoldenEye is an automatic one. Like FIFA 03 or 04.
Yeah.
Probably automatic too. Age of Empires probably in there as well. But we can get to that another time. If you want to talk about games, and if you do, give me your top 3 games in this comments, and then we might look at that next week.
Yeah, sound off on the comments. Now we've got another good question from Oh No Wowaka. Shout out to him. Which is your favourite book from the Song of Ice and Fire series, Game of Thrones?
Oh, I don't know. Like I read them all pretty. Like I don't. It's all molded into one. But probably like 3, maybe. Let's go 3, maybe. I think it's where Robb Stark dies, the Red Wedding. See, I'd read the Red Wedding before season 3 had come out. So like season 1, I that's where I discovered Game of Thrones, and season 2, I hadn't really got up, and then I smashed out all the books before season 3. But I can't tell you book by book. It was so long ago. It was like 2014.
Comparisons to the show and what you think about the changes and cuts in reference to the book to the show.
Yeah, look, I saw this question the other day, and I was like, I don't know, like, it was so long ago, but then I was like, what were the 3 things? And they're going to be a bit rogue because maybe I'm too dumb, and also fucking Stannis was a psycho in the books. I mean, but like in terms of plot stuff, like I don't really remember. I just remember more character stuff. And Stannis Baratheon was like one of my favorite characters in the books. Yes, he was a bit dry and cold-hearted. I remember reading the book. It was like he's fucking so black and white, where Davos saved Stannis Baratheon from a siege, knighted Davos but cut off his fingers as punishment. So it's like Stannis was this kind of like cool battle commander guy. Now, I don't remember any of the burning of the daughter or any of that stuff. I don't remember him being so weak that he has to get a red priestess straight away, and is like, he just seems a bit icky in the show, where in the books I thought he was a bit cooler. I don't know, but like I used to talk about Stannis a fair bit, and then I was like, like Homer Simpson backing into the bushes when he started getting a bit weird. And that goes the same with, we said the Sebbo's world colours were stolen from Dawn. So Oberyn Martell, he's from Dawn. He was cool as fuck because I remember reading the book when he died, and because I was kind of always like half skim reading, I'm like, wait, 1 second, what's happened? Not so much him, but there was this. Dawn was cool, and his brother was a bit more. There's a bit more going on in Dawn than the show. Like,
yeah, right.
It wasn't just his brother sitting there getting by the sand snake. The sand snakes are a bit cheesy in the show. Like they came off cheesy. His brother like actually had a plan to like rise to power again, and like it's kind of on the show there, but I was just like, fuck, Dawn was my kingdom, dude. They were the closest guys to the Greeks down there, and the show just kind of, I don't know. Oberyn was like sweet, and then anything in Dawn was just a bit, I didn't remember it.
Was his death the same in the books as it was with the
I don't
against
even
the
remember.
mountain?
I just remember there was a good kind of thing of him talking about his plan.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't all just, like, I think they had like a Targaryen, or at least maybe a fake Targaryen, but like they were making a play for like themselves because they were like always independent as well, even though they're under the kingdom. So I liked that, but I don't remember enough. I just remember going, okay, that was a bit annoying in the shows. The other thing was Rhaegar, the one who's Jon Snow's dad. Basically, in the book, they describe him as being like really like smart and intelligent, and a bit of a loner and all this stuff, and like really good at it. Like you don't get much of him in the show. You get him talked about briefly, but you can miss the line so quickly.
And he seems like he's such an important character across the whole series. Like as the father of Jon Snow, etc., and everything else with Brianna Stark. But you barely, the only time you, I guess, see him is the younger version of him standing out front of the tower. And he's very rarely referenced for someone that has such an important...
Yes. And I get you don't want to do too many flashbacks, but like... Give us a few more fucking Bran looks into the eyes of a crow or whatever, and like and build him out a bit. All he does is like touch fucking Starks. Oh, that's the other. And they do mention this in the show, but it's not clear about when Ned's the third brother. He was never meant to be Lord of Winterfell. So his older brother Benjen Stark went out, on the war because their eldest brother and Ned's dad marched on King's Landing to try get Lyanna or whatever her name is back, and like the Mad King. I don't know why they didn't show this scene in these flashbacks. The Mad King basically got them somehow, captured them or whatever, and then they briefly mentioned it, Ned's dad like hanging from a roof with like a fire coming up to burn him, and this contraption on Ned's older brother where when he goes to like get his sword, it chokes him. And so he's just like, and he's trying to cut his dad down and pretty hectic stuff. And just like, And I was like, how'd they not use that? Anyway, I get how you can't do it. But yeah, they're my main things. Like, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. Well, sounds like we should get into 2007 then.
Yeah, let's get into 2007. I'm actually nervous because whilst trying to piece this together and do a little bit of research, there was like a couple of articles max, maybe coming at it more from a pure music perspective, not a culture perspective. And I'm not coming at this from a music perspective. I'm just someone who's experienced it looking back. Obviously loved the music, but I didn't try be a DJ. I didn't try find the hottest new thing all the time. I just kind of went with the flow. And then it's like, fuck, now I have to sum up, well, why I'm nervous. I'm about to get a coffee. We'll have a break in a second. Why I'm nervous is because what I think I've uncovered is essentially the naughties identity, at least for Australians, in the sense of if you look at the 90s as, this kind of attitude era, I just don't mean wrestling, I mean the music, Limp Bizkit, all this stuff, through that lens and that kind of a little bit of angst in the culture. If you look at the 80s and you've just got that fucking, disco-y, fun, camp stuff, the 70s, all this rebellion fucking vibe. The 60s is that, open, free spirit, free love. The 50s is a fucking white shirt and pull up your socks and brill your hair sort of crap. And it's like, well, I think I've undiscovered, like, this is what the noughties is. And so I was like, fuck, this is just going to have too much weight. I don't know how to structure it. Tobler's going to have to pull me up and ask questions sort of shit. The one thing I do know about 2007, and especially some of these things that might come up that we talk about, people who experience this side of it, like you can be at some random function, you can be at a daycare parents' day, and there's people who you wouldn't even expect to kind of have been in that world. Look back on it like nothing else I've seen in Australia with this kind of nostalgic sigh of like, fuck, that were the days.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So in saying that, I'm going to go get a coffee. Kind of. Sometimes, especially when the twins weren't really sleeping, I would just like fall asleep with a podcast on or something, or like I'd wake up to a random podcast. And these history ones, they used to just have these like cold opens to the podcast done all dramatically, and it'd be like, it was 1943. The Germans were marching through Normandy, and then that's what.
Yeah, like the noise, like the Real Dictators noise one. They always did really good cold opens like that.
I don't even know. I've been trying to find that history one that does them. I can't even find them anymore. I just remember it's like these nights in a haze. And look, I basically was going to try write a cold open, and I did like a draft, but then I just found like a 10-second clip that would just like, it sums it up. Just look at this. This is the vibe I'm trying to. It's what, 20 seconds of just the sweat, the light, the haze, the dizziness. That's 2007, baby. Sweat, haze, dizziness, neon. Don't know what's going on. Doesn't matter. We're your friends. Doesn't matter. Like, are you sweating? Yeah, but everyone's stinky as well. Yeah, you got fake tan from, some girls all over your jeans and stuff. You're wearing the dumbest clothes of all time, but you're having the most fun of your life. Like, and this is just it here. This is just like, if we open the documentary here.
Peace, love, ecstasy. Peace, love, ecstasy. Peace, love, ecstasy. Unity, respect.
Peace, love, ecstasy. Unity, respect.
Did Muscles coin that term? Because the plur movement, peace, love, unity, respect, is huge in like the EDM culture that followed this.
Well, maybe
and it was
Muscles
like plur
started
with all the candy. They'd wear all the beads and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's where I can remember the term plur, peace, love, unity, respect, which was around raving and like.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good that you're here because like we're going to jump around a little bit. We just gave not even an intro what it was, but like I think one of the things a lot of people who didn't experience it or listen to the music much confuse it with is like stereosonic and raves and EDM. That's not what 2007. Like I'm going to call everything 2007, right? But we're talking about 2004 to 2009.
Yeah.
Is it the music was for everyone? It wasn't just this hard stuff that was raving. It was very lovey in the sense of like, look, I posted a Muscles clip the other day. Look at all the color around. It was very not macho. We're talking before the shirts off, the fucking steroids, it bled into that. And we'll get into like why it changed that a bit later. But it's like, I think the setting the scene of 2007 is there's so much that goes into it. But obviously the music's the main thing.
And so what would you define this as? Is this like a moment in culture, a generation, a time period?
I think it's all of those things, but the thing that I think is the most important thing about this in Australia is that we actually had almost a better scene than overseas.
Yeah.
So like big English producers would come over, New York, French. Obviously, the French were they were a bit more kind of, they had Daft Punk, but they had some cool, like, sleazy. It was like a bit sleazy as well, but it's like sleazy, but fun and open and loving. And we'll get into those reasons. Obviously, one of them is the fucking pingers. But it was like a whole thing. It was like this 2007 isn't just about the music, even though the music's probably the thing that kind of was the glue for everything to be together. And that music was called Blog House. So it wasn't techno, it wasn't house, it wasn't EDM, it wasn't trance, it wasn't fucking hard styles. Yeah, sure, that might have been going on, but when we talk about the music, it was called Blog House. And I think I've just written some notes in like what 2000s, how it started and why it started. And bear with me, this is just kind of like if we're going to treat it as a textbook, we need to understand a few things because this is what made the music and it also is what made the culture, to Tobler's question. So the music blogs and downloading culture. Now, everyone knows Kazaa, LimeWire. We're not talking about that where you just download like an album or a movie. where there was this like little period in between when Spotify came out where there would be blogs. I downloaded a lot of my music from blogs. So there'd be like not a DJ, just this music blog. And so people could just pull down any song they want from, say, a LimeWire, remix it how they want, and just put it up and see if people like it. Kind of like a SoundCloud, but it was actually just like blogs and shit. It wasn't like a platform. And this is before Spotify, that gap between Spotify and like non-digital music. So the record labels couldn't come and try get you in trouble yet. Spotify didn't exist, so it was just like a bit of a wild west when it comes to music.
Like pirates.
Yeah, like pirates, but like you weren't uploading just an album. You were doing your mixes and stuff. And so obviously the big guys started from there, but everyone was doing it. You'd go download their music from there. And so this is in the days of MySpace as well. So MySpace was just like, you know, you put some photos on your profile and you could figure out how you wanted to lay your profile out, but there wasn't necessarily albums. But MySpace, you had your song. Right? So the bands all had MySpace. The bands were like the influencers before influencers were a thing.
Yeah, right.
And then so you could just be putting all these songs on. And then we had this cool label called Modular, who were this independent label who started backing all these guys, like your presets, even Tame Impala, I think.
They first signed Tame Impala in like 08.
Yeah,
for their first few albums.
They were like the OGs and knew like this movement of Australian electro. It was kind of the last generation before pop culture got fractionalized in the sense of everyone kind of liked the same thing. You know how like everyone liked Blink-182 because there'd be one TV channel playing video clips and there'd be a fucking sanity store. And then these days, everyone's got their own thing. Yeah, you got your Taylor Swifts and shit, but they're like mega artists. But like now everyone's into this or that or that. But back in the day, I was like most Australian, like you were into whatever was part of the time.
And I guess the internet, the rise of the internet, right, must have had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, because this is like that in between what we see the internet now as and what it was like in the starting days. And social media, the MySpace, as we said. And then, look, we mentioned pingers, and I don't know when pingers weren't look, they were around everywhere.
I believe it became extremely illegal, or you'd be sent to jail straight away if you were found with a pill press. And
yes,
that's how they kind of stamped them out.
Yeah, they stamped out the pill press. They also made it if you had more than 3 that you were getting charged not as just self-use or whatever.
And are they all consequences of this era?
Yeah, this era, because this was the pinger era. And the good thing about the pinger era is, unlike cocaine, which, you know, apparently is the era now, cocaine is, let me talk about me and my business idea. Where pinger's just like, hey, I love you, dude. Like, and this is still fucking random. Like, this, you know,
like
it's a lot less me. It's a lot less, and a lot more you.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, people would rip down these tracks and then remix it. So it wasn't like there's a perfect example of cut copy, and there's also the Worry About It Later song. Do you know Worry About It Later?
No, not off the top of my head. I do know cut copy though.
Worry About It Later. This isn't an Australian artist. This is British, but so go Future Heads first and then switch remix. We'll just play 10 seconds of this. They also maybe bloody were getting charged. Just sweet, done, easy. Now go to the Switch remix. So it wasn't about sharing this music. It was about sharing this sort of music. And this is such a fucking 2007 sound. This bit like cocaine. Does this sound anything like the song? No, it sounds like 2000. Just wait for a little drop here. Yeah, it's a lot less me. It's a lot less, and a lot more you. And see that sound? How it's a bit of fun. It's not hard styles. It's a very 2007 sound.
But polar
I can't even describe
of a genre, right? Than what it initially was like a rock song.
It's everything falling into everything.
More so, like this remix is so different from the original.
Yes. Yeah.
They've taken the stems and really just made it their own. Like,
and
that's
this is what everyone was doing, right? And so you're
cool.
mixing in pop culture, like mainstream songs. A lot of the guys, like it was the days of iTunes and USBs.
And so it feels like accessibility is at an all-time high.
Yes.
Than what it has been before. Like,
yes.
Joe Blow, could go onto it, could just rip a song, remix it, and put it up online, and then people could fucking love it.
Yeah, and then he could go, hey, can I have a little gig at like one of the little clubs or something?
Yeah, sure.
And then, so the thing is, And so all these genres, right? There wasn't really a genre. As we said, it's not EDM, it's not all this stuff. It was just everything folds into everything. Like you could just mix whatever the hell you want. Bang Gang DJs, Ajax, they were the best at it. It wasn't just go doof, doof, doof with laser lights. You'd have the like fucking Madonna and then it goes into something else, you know, a bit more hard, like a Prodigy. And then it comes out to a fucking, like a nice happy song. And a lot of the original songs by these big guys at the time, actually, like We Are Your Friends, you know, Justice, which is a huge one. Like it's fucking positive as well as dancey sort of shit. Like, and then we're in Australia. So it's just like, we were isolated in the times of like indie bands and stuff coming out. You'd only go to big acts like see fucking U2 or some shit. So these people just started rising up and one of the main things, we had the infrastructure to support smaller scale things. So all these clubs that we're going to talk about, 77, Candies, they were small, they were these dens, they were cheap rent back in the day because Sydney hadn't been gentrified. So they could survive just going, okay, we just need 100 people in tonight. And so we can give a spot to this guy for a few $100. And so you didn't need these huge artists in. So everyone had all these little venues. There were shitloads of them. These seedy dens everywhere. They were not clubs. There were clubs, sure, like your Hugo's, whereas, you know, you wanted to find, you know, feel a little bit more special, but it was just like dens. Like the size of this office would fit about 6 clubs back in the day. And so you had all this infrastructure for them to go play, to go get better, to learn how to read a crowd. And then it just, also the bands. So we're not just talking DJs, cut copy, presets, which is a bit of a hybrid. Like Van Shee, we just had all these Aussie bands. That's why this is so important to look back on, because it's like Australia always, you know, comes 4th or 5th in the Olympics and bats above its weight. This is something where we actually come fucking first. And that's with the country who's got Daft Punk. So it's just like we dominated this era. I don't know why. I haven't got this far. Why? Maybe it's because we're in the sun a little bit more, and it was all about that sun, Australian beach into a seedy club combo mix. That's what the music was. It wasn't totally cool. It was a bit fun. It was a bit cheesy. It was a bit sleazy.
It sounds like a perfect melting pot with all the right factors at the right time. As well as the Australian musical festival scene used to be so much stronger back in the day as well, and I think that might have contributed to it as well.
We'll get to why its demise as well. The Australian festival scene, so like Big Day Out and stuff that's always been good. And there's a bit like when we talk about these festivals, these are the ones with grass. These are the ones at Centennial Park, at Moore Park, Randwick as well, where like Big Day Out's a big thing. But this was like these festivals were like, yeah, you would go dance, but most of the time you just want to be under a tree with your mates, just like looking from afar, just muzzing out. The days were better than the nights. And Field Day kind of, you know, kicked on, but it was probably the worst of the lot, even though it's still great. Stereosonic, do not include that into what we're talking about ever. And yeah, it was this uniquely Australian just sound to it. There's certain songs that just have that 2007 sound as well. Then there's just other bands. And it was, as Topper said, it's a melting pot of the time of your life. 2004, 2009-ish, maybe a bit earlier. You know, you get your Empire of the Suns and stuff in 2009. It's kind of like a bridge to, you know, your Flumes and all, like it's not this. This Empire of the Sun isn't sleazy. I think like some of the keywords 2007 is it's sleazy. That's one of them, which is sweaty. It's mashy music. It's not perfect sing-along anthems. And it was fun as fuck. Everyone I know who experienced it loved it, and this was just everyone doing it, right? Like it was the one thing in town.
So it was like widely adopted.
Yes, it was the underground meets the fucking mainstream. I mean, we went to the Randwick race the other day for work, and I was like, last time I was here, Van Shee were fucking playing. And like it was that long ago. Like, you know, like it wasn't just for the underground. And a lot of the big bands are kicked on. Look at Presets, Cut Copy.
Absolutely.
They've blown up internationally, and that was the coolest thing, man. Is that they were blowing up internationally, but you could still go and pay $20 and go see them on the weekend somewhere, and they were playing everywhere all the time. There was all these venues that you forgot about, that were Kink in the city. Like that was a hell of a one. So that's basically the melting pot. I mean, it was just a different time, man. It was a different time. Like you just go out without a plan. Everyone was dressed in fluoro. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The fluoro, I think the fluoro reflects it the same way the leather jacket reflects the 70s, and the kind of 80s is a bit fluory as well. But just like this kind of General Pants must have made a killing, dude. Like everyone had these dumb stripy little V-neck tops. I had the upside down yellow Subi smiley face thing. The chicks all just had this like puffed up, worked hair. They were like fembots, but colourful fembots. All the chicks were like this. The dudes all had the fringes. Like it was just a fun time. There was so like there'd be venues that you didn't even know existed just down this door and things like that. Everyone was just a little bit looser and freer and funner, and I think that comes through the lack of social media. In the sense of you're not out there taking photos, and we'll go to some clips in a second. Like you're so much more present, and you don't think it's a big thing, but you start looking at these clips of what people in concerts look like without phones, and they're not looking through their phone. And then I was thinking about presence in general. It's like half the reason I get addicted to like golf or pickleball or fishing is because I actually find it quite addictive not even thinking about your phone for a second. So the party vibes are so much higher.
Yeah.
So much higher. You're not trying to check a notification. You're not trying to get a photo. You're just fucking there, right? And you just met more people. You just met more people. Everyone was fun and everyone was out there, going down crosses, a bit more kind of underworldly, Oxford Street, a bit more gayer. And it'd be fun. You just walk out of a venue from some door and there'd be some drag queens there and this person there. You'd bum a dart off this person because it only cost fucking like a cent for a dart back then there. So that was the setting. And that's basically what it was. And then it made the best festivals of all time. We'll get to Daft Punk in a second. But as I said, just lying in the grass under a tree, getting to front left eventually. We had all these local acts that we're talking about. We had the same thing was happening in Europe, and you'd get people like Digitalism, or I think German Justice come in. Everyone would know someone on these lists. There was like 7 of them a year. I think in 2007 I went to them all. We Love Sounds, Park Life, Future Music. We're not including Big Day Out and stuff. And there's Field Day, V-Fest, not Electro, but we'll try. I just want to mention V-Fest for a bit later. What else was there? There were underage ones. I helped organise. I was in year 11 and I helped organise Midnight Juggernauts, Bang Gang, maybe the Presets to play for a bunch of fucking 17-year-olds.
That's so cool.
Like 17-year-olds. So these festivals, man, they just, the days were better than the night. And like Park Life 07 for me was, we'll talk, like in terms of the top 3 ones I went to, let's do
that. Let's go to the top.
Yeah, let's go to the top. Before we go out of the list, we're just going to wrap up why it all ended. Spotify launched, killed the MP3 blog economy. Record labels, they came out, they got everything off. iPhones arrived, people less present, people more kind of less sleazier and less, free. In some sort of poetic romance, there was one guy, a few guys walking around every venue, festivals, taking photos, uploaded to In the Mix. The servers crashed and we lost all the photos of the time.
Oh, no.
EDM became the thing. Serious Sonic ruined it all. King's Cross, obviously that shutting down stuffed it, but also those smaller, seedier venues started to struggle as rents started getting higher because the gentrification of the inner city. Modular eventually sold out and were done with their independent run. And then our big dog artists, they were blowing up overseas, so you got to go over there. And so it all kind of collapsed.
Which is around the time that I turned 18 around. So I turned 18 in like 2015. And I remember the King's Cross lockout laws had already come in. And so I would just hear all these stories from my older cousins of like how fun the King's Cross was, how fun the Cross was. And moments of this era that you're talking about.
It's so sad,
but
though.
even my generation, I think, we never really experienced anything as high as we got like the dregs as it was all evolving out into whatever was to come next. But guys, sounds like a time, dude.
Well, the
Holy
thing is,
fuck, I was so jealous growing up. I couldn't wait to turn 18 because you just told these stories of going out to the Cross and to all.
No, but I'll tell you what the saddest part is, man, is that in 2013, I was still going out and the Cross is still alive and going well. But even then, not just me, everyone I spoke to was lamenting, where did it go, the Electro era? Like you just didn't know it was going to be over. You had no idea it was going to be over. And that was, for whatever memories we have of just going out in the Cross and having fun in, 2010 to 2014, the Electro Festival Aussie days were 10, 15 times more fun than that. Easily. And everyone who was there knows it. And you're just going, so even in that time, you're like, where did it go? It just happened. It happened like that. Before you know it was over. And I know this is probably, most people are younger than me anyway, and so this podcast is a bit fucking, whatever, dude, get over it, your generation. I'm not trying to say one's better than the other. I'm just trying to paint a picture mostly as an Australian who's interested in a time and an era where we dominated the world in the trend and going, it was a thing. It was a thing. I guess the same way people talk about Newcastle pub culture. But let's be honest. What I just explained is a bit more fucking fun than just seeing Silverchair at a pub, right?
Yeah.
Surely.
Absolutely. But it was also national, right? Like these festivals were national.
They're in every
Everything
city.
was national.
Every
Sydney
city.
had its hub in King's Cross and whatever.
Yeah, Melbourne
locally,
had
but like these.
No, it was
seemed
national.
like it was a national culture.
Oh, it was a national culture. Fucking, I've been looking at park life videos in fucking Perth, for Christ's sake.
What were your 3 favourite, I guess, moments of the era or festivals that you went to or nights out that you had?
Okay, top moments from the era or top festivals. I'm just going to have to go to number 1 first, Daft Punk. Looking into this, and I think I'm not the only one who thinks this, is that when Daft Punk came to town, summer of 2007, that was the peak. And then it started trailing off from there.
Yeah.
There was no better than that. It's the best festival. Anyone who's gone, the 50,000 people who said they went to Daft Punk say it's the best thing they ever went to. I've never met someone who went and said it wasn't the best thing. Now, obviously, if they went, they were into that era at the time. So, that, they're the same as me. They're feeling these things. Now, Daft Punk, we don't need to get into Daft Punk, but if you haven't listened to their live tour is this tour they did, and it's the live recording and they're mashing songs together. It's better than their individual tracks. And so they came to Australia, and every supporting act was Australian leading up to it, except the second one. The second one, you know who the one under Daft Punk was? Our old friend who did Drive, Kavinsky. What is his name?
Oh, Kavinsky.
Yeah,
right.
So otherwise, you started with a bit of cut copy in the day, Going Nowhere, things like that.
Yeah.
I can think straight. Then you started pissing down. And then as soon as Muscle started playing Ice Cream and everyone was in Homebush, in the stands and Ice Cream, and then everyone starts coming back to the stage. You had Van Shee. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. Van Shee, who a cool band, cool fucking indie band. Bracey's brother-in-law knew the guy from Van Shee and were like, oh my God. And then Presets. Now I got a little clip here. Presets. Everyone knows the Presets, right? This is the first time they played My People live. So is this, yeah, here we are. And just look, before we get into this little video, now have a little look at what a concert looks like without any phones, because you don't get this anymore. Show me this, because if you get something like this now, every second person, if that, is holding their phone, jumping up and dancing, watching through a screen. But just look at this. This is just peak fucking.
Unbelievable.
Look at him. We're just a sea of people there, dude. I was there.
That's so
I was
sick.
there. And you had the presets, and then it all led into Daft Punk. And I just don't think it got any better than that for a variety of reasons. Obviously, Daft Punk's being Daft Punk, but it just seemed to align with the peak of their. I'm not saying the very end. I'm saying the peak. And then it started going down. And so much so, again, poetically, that Daft Punk were the end of the Electro era, that the concert itself felt like that. And I was looking around at all this stuff, and I've just edited together kind of like the closing song. It's one of my favorite songs of the time, with the end of the festival. And just watch this thing and just see, does this not look like the best way to close out a festival, but is this also like have a bit of an end of an era vibe about the videos and also the song they play when everyone's leaving the stadium? I mean, just the lighting as well was just. Oh, this is a track, dude. Look at him, how cool that is. So this is their last little bit. Oh, just the lights, dude. Hold on. And they close it out, and then basically. Hold on.
say only fools rush in.
That's that's what they were playing there, and everyone. And then that's a stadium.
Is that what
sound.
they played?
Yeah. And then look, that's
dude.
lights on, end of an era, baby.
Unbelievable.
They played that song, that Elvis song.
Always be so jealous of that live show. It
Yeah.
just looks like the culmination of that entire era.
50,000, right? So normally, like even leading up to Daft Punk, normally, you might be with a few thousand at a festival seeing Muscles or something, but it was just, I don't know, something special. And I don't think you loved it at the time, but when you look back, I don't think it's till then you realise that it was something really actually special. Over the years, you talk to people and everyone's like, yeah, that was the best time of my life. Like everyone looks back at this era, that festival specifically, and just go, it never got better than that. It never got better than that.
Any other highlights or shout outs you want to give?
To festivals. Look, I don't have a top three, but I've just got one other one, Parklife 2007.
Yeah.
I lived across the road. It was at Moore Park, and it was just a perfect day. They used to have this around the footy finals, and I've got the bands who are there, like, all your Muscles and stuff like that. But Digitalism are there, which is a big one for me because they're like Pogo's like my favorite song of that era. We'll get to favorite songs in a second. And just as I talked about the getting lost, no reception, I got lost from my friends, and your reception doesn't work. And I met this other girl was lost. And we were both kind of didn't know each other, both knew that we kind of had similar friends. And like, absolutely, I'm the sweaty, disgusting one here. She's like the nice, beautiful one who's just fun. Because I said everyone's here. It's not just sweaty electro chicks. It's also just like, like normal, down to earth, good looking chick who loves Digitalism as well. And we went there, it was at night, and then we kind of just like held hands for a little bit and had a little kiss during Pogo. And just seeing that was epic. But the rest of the lineup was more me because I'm not the big hard stogger. I need my Muscles there, I need my Banshees, I need my Digitalisms. And it was just great. Just in literally Moore Park, around the corner. I lived just behind the block of fucking in 2007. I lived in between the Cross and bloody Oxford Street. With the main walkway that everyone takes there, and the two bedrooms. This was my mum and dad. The one bedroom in the front was like the window where everything happened. Everything. Someone finding a bloody sex worker or someone taking a piss like on your window, like every fight breaking out. The other option was the house was built weirdly so that your backyard, the way you got out, was like the other person's house. It was like, can't we just swap it around? So my bedroom window looked onto the backyard of like a four-man young gay dude share house. So like I would be going to sleep as I hear him bringing someone home and like, getting ready. Oh, geez. I'm like, which side? So great house though, darling house. Hell of a spot. But how to get on there, Moore Park. I guess, living in and amongst it all was just so fun as well. But they're the two. The third one, they're all a bit of a mix. But the venues I wanted to give a shout out to, I was thinking about the venues and the smaller ones. Everyone knows Club 77. If you don't, it's still alive today. But I went down a few years ago and it was like, oh my God, I can see the floor. I can actually see 4 foot in front of me. That used to be just like, what happens in 77? Who the fuck knows? And that was half the fun. Candy's apartment as well, I think was the one I visited most. So if I go venues I frequented most, I think Candy's was underground, all sorts of, no windows, smoke machine, in the mix photographer, and they'd get bands down there, they'd get DJs, it was the main spot to go to. Kink, Bracey and I went to Kink, it was in the city, like Pitt Street or something, and then they used to just, there was the smoking dance floor here, there was the non-smoking dance floor, you'd go order your bloody vodka, double black with a bit of the red stuff in it, and it had your artists every night. well, not like a lot of big artists, but then also like the DJ. It was a bit more of a fun vibe, like a bit more of a fucking like, you know, let's try, you know, hook up, get the whole dance floor to hook up with each other. And then Havana was just like the underage one. I went there a fair bit, but yeah, 77. Oxford Art Factory, they still got that today, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, still going around.
Yeah, so that's when, you know, your bigger acts got to go to a bigger crowd. Like Oxford Art Factory was like 3 times the size of like the other one. So they're the venues, they're the festivals. What was the one so look, if I had to go my top 10 songs of the time, counting down, Justice, We Your Friends, I think that was an anthem for everyone. It was in so many DJ mixes. It was just fun, happy, loving sound. The Teenagers Homecoming, this is a rogue one. But go look up the song. It's got some of the sleaziest lyrics that just wouldn't be allowed today. It's a French band. I saw them at Oxford Art Factory, but it's like, I fucked my American. Anyway, it just has that sleaze sound. Switch, worry about it later. We played that earlier. Just it has that 2007 sound to it, and it's an example of a great remix. Going Nowhere, Cut Copy. I remember these were the days of just getting your mate's thumbnail to get music onto your iTunes, and that's how I discovered them. And I was like, what's this Going Nowhere song? I absolutely love it. Same thing with kind of Vanshee. Vanshee were just a cool indie band, dude. And they had a song called Kelly, which just I don't know how it hasn't been in a movie yet. But if we're talking sleaze sound of 2007, Midnight Juggernauts, 45 and Rising. Can someone tell me what the sound is? Because that's such a 2007 sound, but I don't know what it is. Ice Cream Muscles. Don't need to say anything about that. Presets, Are You the One? Was probably the first song where I went and saw live where I'm feeling it through my body, and, you know, the whole world of 2007's been consumed with inside me, and I'm going, oh, you're like, Jesus Christ, this is fun. The Daft Punk song, the mix at the end, and then number 1 is Pogo Digitalism. I just want to give a quick shout out to Going Nowhere, Cut Copy Digitalism Remix. That was the first time I saw what MySpace was, and I was on this girl's profile who we became great friends after, and she had a slideshow of her out at all the clubs to Digitalism, Going Nowhere remix, and I was like, what is this? MySpace. Who are these people? These chicks who look like fembots in fluoro. How do I get there? You know, that was kind of like was it red pill, blue pill into the 2007. I was like, oh my God. And I had it and didn't look back until like now. It's just so funny, literally seeing all of it in one. So yeah, they're my songs. And saw live. Man, there it is. That's everything. I could talk about this for days, but we got to move on. Shout out to 2007. Tom, are we calling this like the Electro era or what, like a golden run? I don't know. Like we'll call it the
Feels
Electro
like all
era.
of the above.
Yeah, Electro era, 2007 summed up. Yeah, I think the Presets are putting on a concert to try replicate it in Jan, and they've got Cut Copy, they've got all the guys, so maybe we'll go to that.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, sorry if you were too young to know what the hell I was talking about. See it as a history lesson. And if you're going to take anything from it, just party like it's 2007. The red pill, blue pill. All right, Drive. One of the guys at Daft Punk did the opening song for Drive, Kavinsky.
So Kavinsky did it with Guy Manuel, who was from Daft Punk.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
Kavinsky was a different guy.
Yeah. Okay.
He was a different French dude, but it was co-made with one of the dudes.
Yeah. I know he's not the Daft Punk guy. And so we've got a nice little bridge here, and I'm pretty sure they the Paris opening ceremony, they ended it with Kavinsky's bloody song from this.
Hectic.
Yeah, I was like, oh, shout out. So like, it was big. This is just going to be one where I just want to say off the bat, it's probably the coolest movie I've ever seen. Like, as in just like,
yeah, dude.
Like just cool, man.
So cool.
Not cheesy cool as well.
No.
Like we'll talk about in a second a few of the scenes, but this is like no dialogue because you don't fucking need it. It's this neon, noir-y, hyper-violent, epic music that could almost be set in any era, in the sense of like if you change the music up, it's just like the story's pretty simple. Like the story's pretty simple. Just watching this is just like, wow, okay. And maybe it takes a while to get into that feeling, but you just watching the vibe, not just the cool songs, but the atmospheric sounds, the score.
Yeah.
Just makes it feel cool. Not one bit cheesy. And if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it because as I said, I hadn't seen it for about 15 years or so, and it was as cool as I remember. And that's just my opening little bit before we kind of break down each thing. Tobler, what do you have like a quick summary on your experience?
Similar to you.
Yeah.
First of all, fuck me dead. That cast is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So many of them have aged so well since this movie came out. Christina Hendricks, Oscar Isaac, but then you've got Al Brooks and Ron Perlman and Bryan Cranston. Like it blew my mind, the ensemble that they put together.
Well, I'll tell you what blows your mind even more. It was made for 15 mil.
15 mil.
Yep.
That's
15
unbelievable.
Mil. So basically, I think it was originally going to be a high budget movie, like the concept. I think it's like an adaptation of a book. But they started talking to all these big actors. And Bryan Cranston wasn't huge at the time. Oscar Isaacs wasn't huge at the time. I didn't even know he was in it until I rewatched it. But Ryan Gosling especially, and with all the other guys, took massive pay cuts because the director, they wanted to work with him. Apparently there's a huge collaborative process and they were just all pumped. So everyone took pay cuts.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, let's just do this. They all worked on it together. All of them to this day say it was probably the better experience they had working on a film and also the most like artistic kind of input they were allowed on a film.
Wow.
And I think that kind of shows.
Absolutely.
Because if you had more money, I think if there was more money on the table, you'd start thinking of over-the-top action scenes, all this sort of stuff. I love the minimalist nature of this.
Yeah, what do they say? Like boundaries inspire creativity. It's like you've only got X amount of money, got to be creative to use it well and get what you want. And they absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Like
but
it's just
so cool, as you said.
The storyline's so simple.
It's just very simple.
It's
and as you
dude
said,
who wants to help someone out, gets melded up in a kind of butchered heist thing, but you don't really care about that. Like, it bloody. I love the fact that it feels so LA as well. I think one of my main points is like let's just go to his character because it sums it all up. Like Ryan Gosling's clearly either. Like, let's be honest, this guy's the coolest guy ever, but if he ever came over to your house for some drinks or something, you'd be a bit creeped out.
He's very broody.
Yeah, he's
and
either.
You don't really know why, but he's very.
That's
broody.
the bit I love. That you don't need to know why. This is the beauty of the film: is that you've just landed here in this place. You don't need him to do some cheesy backstory like Ryan Reynolds, where he's like, "Well, when I was 14, my dad actually." Like, you don't need that. This guy, he's either a bit on the spectrum. He might be a little bit on the spectrum, but he's clearly had something fucked up happen in his life.
Yes,
and he's clearly got experience in doing fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you don't know.
It's good. It's up, but you leave it up to the audience to fill the gap, and then they get more out of it.
It's so visually and well done that it doesn't matter, you can make it up yourself. Yeah, he's cool as hell. The scorpion jacket. I think like he is a scorpion. Yeah, he's like this. Scorpions are like, do they hang out in gangs or are they alone in the desert? Because I'm hoping the scorpions hang out by themselves because he seems like a scorpion and he's just got that sting if you fuck with him.
Yeah. One of the factors that we judged this movie on was his coolness rating out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 11 out of 10.
It's 11.
It's almost the coolest character.
Yeah.
Or one of the coolest characters in movie history.
I think easily.
But when I was watching it, especially in the first half an hour, I kind of was like, oh, this must be what people felt like watching James Dean.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that's the vibe I got. And the way I reckon you can personify it especially is the toothpick.
100%.
Because if you could get like a range of men on a scale of 1 to 10, and it gets to a point of hotness and coolness where they look good with a toothpick and not like an idiot.
Yeah.
I couldn't pull off a toothpick. If I had a toothpick in my mouth, I'd look like a dumbass.
See, the crazy thing is I think I could pull one off. Not with my 4 eyes here, but like...
Mate, the glasses... Oh.
I don't sleep. I do nothing but think of you.
Real human.
Sorry to cut you off.
But that's how I kind of perceived it. I was like, he's pulling the fuck off that toothpick.
Mate, he's so good because it's just like, and when you might say cool, you might think of like really cool like lines and struts. He's just like, I think what's so alluring about him is it's what most people know they couldn't be, and it's that much of a loner. Like where he's just like, he's clearly comfortable in his own skin. He's obviously dealing with something, but he's not He's not trying. He's not social. He doesn't have. He's just seen like we're going to jump around a bit in these movies, but like he's gone full rogue and like willing to die because he says to her at the end on the phone when he calls, he goes like, "You and whatever your son's name is the best thing that's ever happened to him." Yeah. And he's just kissed her once in an elevator and just wanting to care for this little boy. He's risked his whole life. And it's like, that's cool in the sense of like, you can appreciate how much that meant to you. It's just like this. It's not even your wife. It's not even your kid. He's just fucking like, he's so the opposite of what we are as cool guys today. He doesn't give a fuck about Venroy. He doesn't give a shit about having a Rolex. He doesn't care about anything. He just wants his scorpion jacket, and he's seen someone in need who he doesn't want to. Maybe he sees, this is me making shit up now. Maybe he sees he was that kid once with the single mother and fucked up shit happened.
That's the vibe I got.
Like, yeah. And just as you said, the characters, obviously him, I don't think there's a single wasted character. There's not a ton, but everyone does a job with the minimal lines they got. I love the fact that the Oscar Isaac isn't like a dickhead husband even.
No, because you get that kind of scary vibe when you first meet him. When he first meets Driver in the hallway and you're like, oh, he looks like he's trying to confront him about like fucking his wife while he was in jail or something like that. But then
I think he was just sussing it out.
Just sussing out the vibe, and then eventually goes to him for help, becomes like friends with him. And
yeah, he likes him. He's like, shout out to my friend and stuff, because it would be cheesy to be like, you're fucking my wife.
Yeah.
And then even Ryan Gosling's character is like, okay, your husband's home. I'm not going to back away. I'm not here just for sex or whatever. Like, so I thought Oscar Isaac, Bryan Cranston's the gambler, but gambling tragic dude was perfect.
Oh, so unlucky.
Just bad luck, just unlucky, dude. Ron Perlman's a bit of the idiot mobster, and then the main guy, Nemo's voice, Albert Brooks.
Great. Unbelievable.
Great. Unbelievable. His little knife thing, you're like, fuck, this guy's killed some people.
Yeah. Cold-blooded.
Yeah.
What was your favourite scene?
I'm just going to not go through each one, but obviously the opening scene is just cool to set up his character, just professional. The music obviously helps. I don't think that's my favorite. The waterway drive I wrote down early on when, you know when they're just driving in the water, and it's like the second scene in the movie, they say like one word to each other and you feel like they're completely in love.
That's what I've got written down as well. Like even the way they shot it, the ethereal lighting,
very
the
dreamlike
song, so dreamy.
Everything's dreamlike,
and they're
about
so
this.
happy, and they're playing by the river, and they just look like a happy family, and it looks that was so well done.
And that's like the fourth scene in the movie and like the eighth line of dialogue.
But didn't feel out of place.
No, that's what I'm saying. It just traps you into this. It feels very dreamlike, kind of. It can be hyper violent to like this most beautiful, lovey kind of stuff. I just wanted to give that a shout out. The hammer and the nail scene when the stripper's in there. I just love even the weird lighting of the cutaways on the nude chicks. It's this weird lighting that goes on. I just thought that was a cool scene for the lighting, and also like, oh fuck, like he's bought a hammer and a nail pre-planning to go fuck someone up rather than like reacting. It's like, okay, this guy is actually a psycho.
Yeah.
But I thought, obviously, the motel room scene was pretty cool in terms of action, but I think my favorite scene is honestly just when he puts on the mask of the stunt driver, chases down Ron Perlman's character, and it's on the beach, and it's this brooding music with like LA in the background, and then Perlman's just like so scared he's going into the water. And it's just like, it's hard to explain the setting, the silence, the beat of it all. I was like, this sums up the whole movie, but the edge side of it, not the happy side. Obviously, the elevator scene is probably the love side. Well, maybe the elevator scene sums up the whole movie because it's like just such a beautiful kiss, and then he just stops that dude's head in. But I'm going to go with the beach scene.
Okay.
You?
I'm going to go with, I think it's the heist. Into the motel.
Oh, into the motel, yeah.
The heist into the motel, because that heist, as soon as he gets out of the car and walks in, and then it cuts back and you're tense and you hear the ticking of his watch and that whole scene. But then in the motel, I think it's my favorite because I picked up on there's so much red and blue symbolism in this entire movie. Like at the start, whenever you see Ryan Gosling, he's wearing blue, or the car he's driving's blue, or he's standing next to a blue wall. And then every time you see Irene, she's wearing red. Like her work uniform's red, all this kind of stuff. So she's almost like the violent side of crime and like represents that world. And then he's like this pure calming blue. But it's not until they're in the motel when he grabs the shotgun and just shoots that bloke in the face. And he's covered in blood.
Yeah.
And it's the first time you kind of see him who's just been in blue this whole time. He's got the most glowing blue eyes. He's covered in red and you're like, oh, okay. He's crossed over into that violent side, that violent world now.
That specific shot you're talking about, I think I even wrote down, like, not seen, but favorite fucking shot, like just held on him for like 15 seconds. And it's just that sound does so much more than any dialogue ever could.
Totally.
Of like what's happened. He's like, yeah, I'm here. There's no turning back for me in that scene you're talking about.
Yeah,
like,
he's crossed over now. He's gone.
Yeah.
But then the ethereal dream scene, well, the waterways car scene.
Yeah, I love that.
Just because I feel like it's almost called back to at the very end when he's sitting in the car and it's like that similar lighting with the glowing ethereal behind his face. And you're just like, blink, Brian, blink. Can you just blink for
20
me, dude?
seconds, can you blink as fucking a real hero song's on. It's just like it's just a different movie. I haven't seen anything like it.
No, and it's so simple in its premise almost, but the way it's executed is just so well done in every aspect.
Yeah.
And that callback to the scene that was so early on that like traditionally in another movie wouldn't fit. It just, that's what pulled on my heartstrings and I was like, please be alive, please be alive.
Same. Like I knew he was alive. Even then I was like, fuck, this blink's going longer than when I first watched it. I know he's going to blink, but I didn't like, are you going to blink again? Like it's like 20 seconds and you just, the relief you feel on that blink is just, I remember the first time I'm just like, oh my God, thank God.
But the elevator scene as well, massive shout out to that when the lights go dim and it goes to slow motion when he kisses her and then stomps the fuck out of that bloke.
The violence done
and
in
then
such a
that
different way.
scene, the shot, where she steps out of the elevator and it's just her and like the parking garage and she's like, and everything's blue and you're like, you don't know what she's thinking. Is she freaking out? What's he thinking? She's just witnessed him do that. Like, it was so strong and powerful. I was like, oh my God.
Especially for how many times he's like, how many times he stomped the head. You know, there's one thing defending you to like, to smashing his head in. Yeah, the violence is weird. I don't know how to put it into words, but even just the slit of the wrist is done. Like everything that when the chick in the motel gets her head blown off, like it's like slow. I don't know.
It's so gory and graphic, but there's not like too much time spent on it. Like it's not about the gore and stuff. It's quite quick. Like even with the arm, it's just like he cuts his wrist. He's like, you'll be okay. You'll be okay.
Yeah. It's like these quick moments of hyper violence into this kind of dreamscape, lovey thing, not trying to be cool, but then it's turned out to be the coolest thing ever. And you're just like, okay. And the music, obviously. So what's your favorite scene? I'm going with my beach scene. Yours is?
I'm going to go motel.
Motel, yep.
I'm going to go motel.
What I would have said the elevator scene, but I had confused in my head before my rewatch. I thought the song Under Your Spell was playing in the elevator scene in my memory from 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. And I was like, oh, damn. But I still think that's my favorite track.
Real Human Being. Well, obviously, Kavinsky's like, that is so fucking sick.
No, the Under Your Spell. I don't sleep. I do nothing but I think of. So there's Kavinsky Night Call.
Yes.
There's the A Real Hero, which is the one that pops up a couple times.
Yep.
And then it's actually when the husband comes home and they realize that they're not going to have a shot at getting a first kiss, where it's like, I don't sleep. Like, I love that track. Those three tracks are in like 50 of my playlists.
Yeah. I think it's like Kavinsky's very good, but for me, I think it's Real Human Being over Under Your Spell.
Yep. Yeah.
As my favorite song from the movie. And fun fact, I looked this up last night. So Electric Youth or whoever it is that made the song were inspired by after Sully landed the plane in the Hudson River.
Yeah.
Back in like 2009.
Yeah.
One of the guy in Electric Youth's grandfather said, oh, that Sullenberger, he's a real hero. He's a real human being. And that line from his grandfather just stuck in his head and then he incorporated it into that song, which I just thought was super random. How it ties back to Sully landing his plane in the river.
That is random, but I love it.
But I mean, talk about songs written not for a film that fit more perfectly.
Yeah,
into a movie than that song.
It's this dreamscapey songs. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, you can't explain it. Like, and I think maybe that's part of why a lot of people love it, even if they don't realize. Because also the songs are they're not mainstream. I'm sure they have big fans in like the kind of more indie, synthy sort of stuff. But they're not main songs of like, oh my God, I loved it when they played, we're not gonna make it in Hangover 5. Like, it's not that, yeah. So shout out to it. I mean, and the score as well, not just the songs. The score is amazing. It's one of those ones that I want to rewatch every 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Because it's just a different hit. I forgot how big of a different hit it was.
And you had memorable shots written down here, but I think you kind of just got to shout out the cinematography as a whole, because some of those shots, like when he first walks into the garage and you see Bryan Cranston and he's in the background, Cranston's in the foreground, even when he's in Irene's kitchen and his face is in the mirror and there's the photo of Benicio with his father and then Irene's there, and even the shot of Shannon at the end with the yellow car that matches the scorpion on his back where he's been hiding the money as he's it's like he's finding his dead body. The whole thing. It's too hard to pick a favourite shot. Like, even
that's
the
thing.
shots.
There isn't one. I think it's just more appreciation for cinematography. And for anyone who doesn't know what that means, it just means that you're framing a shot like a photograph. And but comedies, you don't really need it. But it's like, how are you framing this to tell a story, to invoke a mood? Who's lit where? What's going on? What's the framing? And there's a close up. There's a million options, right? And I think this is just a little masterclass in like cinematography. Because you feel so much and without the need of dialogue. I put a post up. It inspired me so much that it worked into writing a character that's kind of thinks he's this guy / Paul Walker. Streets of Sydney. We'll talk about that next time because I want to talk about Chase Burns, but we run out of time. Who has the drive jacket and but I think a lot of people like got that jacket for Halloween and stuff. Like it's an indie film, but it went pretty mainstream.
Dude, I would love any excuse to wear that jacket.
Yeah, I know.
And dress up like him, like for Halloween.
Can we order some here? I think if we ever build this set out, or it's cold in here, I need a drive jacket.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. And get me a little thing of toothpicks as well, thank you. But any closing notes on that, Topler?
Mate, nothing from me. There, he at the end he alludes to a story about the scorpion and the frog. Do you know much about that? I haven't looked into it.
It seems like something I would have Googled, but I didn't.
Yeah, no final thoughts from me. Just what a cool movie.
Cool, man. Real cool. Now, there's not much more to say. If you haven't seen it, just go watch it. It's not even about knowing what fucking happens. It's just seeing it. Am I allowed to recommend movies that have more guns in them, or like, do people want comedies? Like, I don't know for the next one, or do we give it a breath and maybe people can vote on socials? Because it's like people loving the 90s stuff, but then do people want to do other stuff? I don't know. So this will be the...
we haven't done a rom-com.
We haven't done a rom-com? Yeah, maybe we'll lighten it up and then we'll get back to the 90s after a rom-com.
Yeah, like as good as it is, it's pretty dark, pretty hectic.
Yeah. We'll give people a Sunday off. We'll give people a Sunday off. We talked last week about treasure hunting. What do you think my favourite rom-com is? Guess. Fool's Gold. Mamacano. There won't be so much scenes to talk about how well it's done. It'll be more just fun stuff of the thing and maybe where it fits in rom-coms and all that sort of stuff. But Fool's Gold, I think I've seen it 20 times. It was my, after 2007 days when you wake up, you're like, I need something to fucking save me. What year to come out? Probably about 2010 or something. What's it on?
2008.
Yes.
So it's on Netflix.
I told you, I lined it up. That was my 2007 cure, Fool's Gold. iView, Netflix, hopefully, but sometimes
it's on ABC iView for free.
ABC iView for free.
Perfect. Everyone can get involved.
Matt McConaughey, Kate Hudson, Treasure Hunters, divorced, get linked back up by a billionaire, got someone else chasing the treasure as well, Caribbean stuff, filmed in Queensland, actually. I think. Just fun, just really fun. And so this is, you probably might be a bit scarred from Drive. So let's just lighten some things up on Fool's Gold before we get back to some 90s action. All right, I think that's over time yet again. We're trying to shorten these things up, but it's hard when you've been charged with being the voice of an Australian era that hasn't been beaten and never will be beaten. So, that's me, Tobler. Thank you again. Anything closing notes, Tobler?
Nothing from me, brother. That was great.
All right, easy. See you guys next week.